Hey guys, welcome back. I am back from vacation and back in video making mode, sort of. This one went with me on vacation and spent a lot of time in the ocean and the pool. And we went inner tubing down an irrigation ditches. Um, and it went with me there. So it spent a lot of time in both saltwater and freshwater. So I know there's been a lot of videos, well, I'm guessing there's been a lot of videos of this knife being torn down and cleaned, but I haven't done one. And it needs it because it's pretty gnarly after my trip. It went to the beach a lot, didn't get sand in it necessarily, but it was in the water a lot, and it doesn't fly open anymore, that's for sure. And I did notice also on this knife that it's not supposed to corrode, it's got some marks there. I tried to wipe it off, but it kind of wipes off, but we're going to tear it apart and really take a look inside and see what's going on, because it needs some help. Okay? So it's very easy. I have never taken this one apart, so we'll hope for the best. I didn't rinse it off every time I got out of the water either, just because I didn't have the opportunity. So it may have kind of had some fresh or saltwater stuff on it for an extended period of time. I don't know if that other spacer comes out the back. We'll see as we open it up. Both T8s, and we'll get it taken apart, cleaned up, and put back together, and it should be good to go. We'll see. We have a little Loctite on there that I put on previously because it was backing out a little bit. So, yeah, let's just zoom in here so you can see. And this is, it's pretty dry in here, but I would have expected that. I think that will all just wipe off, no problem. So it is LC200N is the lock bar, the liner lock. So it's got some surface rust stuff on it, which is odd to me, being as how none of this, I'll move that other spacer out of the way there, as this is Vanex that should not corrode, it's titanium that should not corrode, it's LC200N that also should not corrode. So kind of interesting, but again, I don't know the story or the history of this knife. I got it from Alex over at the Knife Box channel, so I know it wasn't abused by any means. So we will clean that out. Guess I'll take the backspacer out all the way, and we'll just clean everything off because it's kind of a mess, right? But there's that side and this side. Okay, so I do have some ketchups here and some paper towels and some alcohol over here on the side. So let's just see what we can do to wipe it all down and get it cleaned up. So, but it had a great vacation. Wow. I hate to admit it, but it's my first real vacation. Let me zoom out here. We don't need to be all zoomed in on me wiping the parts off, do we? Sometimes I'm looking at the parts, and sometimes I'm looking through the camera. That time I was looking at the parts, apparently. Okay. Great vacation. First real vacation I've taken in more years than I will admit here publicly. Let's just put it that way. And this knife is super crazy sharp, so I would have been smart to tape the blade just because it's very sharp. So we're going to try to do this without creating any blood, because I don't like to start and stop the videos, but we'll see how it goes here. So, there was something on there because I had to kind of scrape it off with my fingernail. But it cleans up pretty easy, pretty good, so that's a good sign. But I guess I'm just not really sure why it kind of corroded in the first place. But, hey, that's alright. We'll get it cleaned up and going again, and hopefully it will be a rock star again. Okay. And I may sell this knife. I don't know. I've been talking to a guy. He kind of wanted it. We'll see. I did talk to Alex the other day as I was coming back from vacation. And he was like, dude, you should sell it back to me. So I don't know. I carried it a lot when I was on vacation. I went to Hawaii. Went to a couple of different islands. Spent 10 days out there. Pretty awesome. I'm not going to lie. Met up with a good friend of mine on the Big Island who lives out there. And I went with some other friends to Kauai. Let's get those kind of cleaned up. Let's wipe off the spacers here, the pivot. And we'll clean off the back spacer, and then we got to clean out all the grooves inside of the tracks in here too. So we'll get a little Q-tip off to the side, get that covered with some alcohol. Got the tracks here. So yeah, had an awesome time. First time in Hawaii, so that was super cool and special. Went with some really good friends from work, took my girlfriend. We had an amazing time. I'm not going to lie. Super cool. Saw some amazing stuff. If you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you saw a bunch of the pictures. Because I like to post the pictures and it's all about the likes, right? Alright, so the blade, let's see if I can do a little bit with the Q-tip on there, because there is some stuff on the edge around the stop pin that I wish was a little more clean. Clean out the inside of that too. And see the other side. We'll be careful here, because so yeah, if you have not been to Hawaii, oh baby, you need to go. At some point, I will go back for sure, because it was very cool. Try to dry this off a little bit here. So I took this knife, I took a Hellraiser, I took my Kubi KB237, the most awesome budget knife out there, in my opinion, for the most part. And I took my little guy, my CRJB, CJRB, and this one also went with me into the water, and it's fine. It was not in the water as much as the Waypoint. Okay? So I will say that it was not in the water as much. So I don't know if that played into it or not. But we'll try to get this kind of started to put back together here. Get things lined up. Okay. Got a little bit of lube over here on the edge. We'll put some down here. Coming out. There you go. And it may not have been completely lubed up beforehand. That could have been the issues. I don't know. I'm not going to speculate. But we'll get that in there. And twist it around so it's seated, because it is keyed. Put that down. Put another little drops or two of lube on this side of the washer. Drop the blade in there ever so carefully. I'll wipe the blade off much better when I get it put together. Get my little fingerprints and stuff off of there. That one down in there. Oops. I like to go all out. Oh, geez, not inside. Just kind of wipe some of that up. Then went down inside of the pivot. Okay, so there's that one. There's that. And let's see if we can line it up. Easy enough. Okay, we'll get this one started just to hold it together. And then we will shove this guy in. This one might have trouble lining up now because it is also keyed. And I should have, there you go, that one lined right up. Before I get everything tight, I always like to just kind of run the blade. Just to kind of lube it, see how it feels, make sure nothing's binding inside, don't have something in the wrong spot, you know, all of that good stuff. And it looks pretty good. It's not centered yet, but hey, it's still loose. Tighten that one. Tighten this one up. Pretty centered, probably too tight. A little too tight. Loosen it up just a little bit. Check for blade play. Feels way better. Still not like some other guys that I know. Theirs is super, not drop shut, but much smoother on the close than mine. And I'm okay with that. At least it opens and fires every time. No blade play. Tweak it just a hair tighter. And I will do this a little bit again, tightening it up. I'll put some Loctite on there because I know that we'll need this. But there it is. It is nice and centered now. Fires out. Wipe it down and call it good. So there you go, the Quiet Carry Waypoint. And all that's left is a little Loctite on the pivot, because I know this one is prone to coming loose from having it previously. That's why there was some Loctite on it already. Plus, I think that's just a good idea, because pivots seem to go back and forth from time to time. So there you go, guys. I know this kind of went a little long, but there you go. I appreciate you sticking with me to the end, and let me know what you think. Thanks, guys. Have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow.